So today we're going to start with embroidery. One of the unique things about Trimark is that we include one location of branding in the costs of our garments. When I say one location of branding, I mean that's regardless of what type of branding you're doing or how many colors or how many stitches, for the most part, your first location is included in the cost of the garment. Second location is a flat fee. The only variable you have when you're quoting apparel with Trimark is the setup cost, because not only is the first location included, all additional locations are one flat fee, so it's really easy to quote, but all our sizes are the same price as well. So garments extra small, many of them through 5XL tall, are all going to be the same price, which is pretty incredible. Many of our competitors will charge up to $8 more for a 5XL tall. So that's a significant cost savings for your end user. And it's also a really significant way to help make budgeting easier for large projects, because you don't have to account for fluctuations in sizing. Okay, so first one we're going to start with is embroidery. And I mentioned the pricing because we do include up to 25,000 stitches of embroidery in the cost of the garment. Embroidery is a really fantastic tried and true method, typically done on the left chest, as you know. We also do a lot of embroidery on the biceps and back yoke. One of the sort of downfalls, for lack of a better word, for embroidery is that you do often always have to have backing. So that can rub against the skin, it can be itchy. One of the other things that we often have trouble with embroidery is fine detail, and lastly, puckering, especially on these lightweight dry wicking garments. So while we absolutely can do embroidery, and we do it very, very well, in fact, I've had many industry veteran clients of mine tell me that our embroidery is the best that they've ever seen. So again, we include up to 25,000 stitches if you're embroidering your garments through Trimark. So keep that in mind, especially valuable on those large stitch count logos that we sometimes struggle with. When we're trying to be unique with embroidery, there are a couple of ways that we can do it. One, we can consider the actual design itself. So most often I have seen embroidery done as a fill. This is kind of a unique way to approach it and has been really well received, by end users. I did an end user show at a large airline recently, and we did their flight symbol in outline like this. And it was one of the most commented on and requested samples that we did. Another thing that you can do with embroidery is really focus on alternative locations. So not only can we oftentimes embroider on the collar, usually it's going to be a small symbol or an initial of some sort, but we also can embroider in some unique locations like on the shoulder. Especially in these times during quarantine, shoulder can be a really powerful place to decorate, because we're oftentimes on Zoom conference calls, and depending on where you're positioned with the camera, it can be hard to see a logo if it's done on the left chest. So shoulder will guarantee that that logo gets visibility on a Zoom conference call.